Yelarakum Fanakam.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Hello, good people. Welcome to C2L. I am Tommy Day.
I'm Kalpa.
Welcome to Chennai to Lagos. What are we doing?
Like, what am I to say? Today we are doing a reaction video of one of the most famous Tamil songs of recent. I woke up on Saturday and found the song being recommended on YouTube. As always, YouTube wins. And so I was like, click. And then I was like, what? No way. So we decided to do a reaction because one of you suggested that in our comments. And also we got a lot of inspiration from our friends Ramen Pie. Check out their channel. They also did a reaction. So we're just also inspired because this song is like humbling us for days. And Tom, as a musician, is going to look at things from that side. And of course, you know me, just a simple Tamil girl enjoying Tamil music. So here we go.
Let's go.
Jella Perandi
We're gonna clap.
I think it deserves like all kinds of.
Where do we even start?
I feel like if you know when you say the music moved me, I feel like that's what this song does for me. Like it moves me every time I listen, and I tear up in some parts because I think I've just understood the message over time. Like the first time I listened to it, I was like, yeah, you know, and then like the more I listened to it, I was like, this thing has a deep message rooted in it. And like I think towards the end, you know, when they show the pictures and stuff, like it really moves me, makes me so emotional. Just knowing that they've put so much you know, art into this thing to express themselves and the message.
For me, this is amazing. This is mind-blowing. I think everything together, and why for me this is such a big deal is that, you know, as an artist, when we got together, I was very, very curious about, you know, Tamil music and everything. And most of the songs we always hear are tied to movies. And I've obviously learned and understood that's how the industry is. But for me, why this was so powerful is that this was like, I guess, the gateway into me seeing my tribe, so to speak, you know, independent artists. And I've done a bit of, you know, digging, you know, guys like, is it Arivu, who is part of the, is it the Castless Collective?
Yeah, the Castless
you know?
Collective, yes.
But honestly speaking, musically, I think this is so powerful. These guys came together visually and with the music to create something that is a work of art.
I know.
And
sorry, go ahead.
You know, the thing, what I like about this thing is that there's some parts of this song that, especially at the beginning, the way it starts, if I was blindfolded, and you'd probably, let me even just show you.
Like if we
this part, let's start from the beginning over here. I think it's from here. This part, you know, if I didn't hear anything else and I just heard this could have easily, I would have probably thought it's a South African or a Nigerian song or just some other type of Afro-related thing. Yeah. And amazing just hearing this. I think it just shows me how more alike we are culturally. Yeah. And seeing this in the form of music, it is mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing because I think it's opened my eye to see Indian music in a different light. Yo, this is a banger, man. This is a banger, and you can see people dancing to this, even outside, people who don't know what's happening here. And to find out that there's so much layered on top of it. Yeah,
and still along this parts, like the instrument that they use at this point here, the drum part of it is called a parai. You see, they even like say
parai,
in
drumming,
parai, So it's a original Tamil instrument that's used. And I mean, it literally translates to tell or to speak. So it's like an instrument that's used for to tell something, to speak something. So it's an instrument that does that. And I just love how they started that authentic instrument. And like, I love this part, like just this part where she is with the girls around her.
No, this
like,
is a very good shot.
It makes me so proud to see this because I've often said how there's so much colorism issues in our community, between being fair and being, you know, dusky skinned or whatever, and being told like use Fair and Lovely to look good, you know, that kind of thing. And here I feel like they just embraced the natural color tones of the girls in the South, you know, and I love that because they didn't make them look any different from what they are. And I totally just embrace this. Like, this is like our vibe, this thing. Like, I would love to do a shoot like that. This. Yeah. And she looks so, like, it's like she carries so much pride of who she is, you know, the way she is.
You know what I love about this, and I'm so passionate about, like, creatives and art. And for me, whenever I see people using their art form to tell stories, it blows me away because I feel that if you're not telling stories, if you're not shedding light on what you're really going through as a creative, as an artist, then, you know, what really are you doing? You know, it's cool to make songs you can have fun to and dance to, but for me, what I really resonate with are people who are creating music to speak to deeper things, or creating art to speak to deeper things. And for me, as a Nigerian who loves music, as an artist myself, and also somebody who's so passionate, you know, involved in the videography space here and there, seeing these two worlds come together, the writing, it's so poetic, you know, the writing, and how they're talking about coming together as one, and even how it's depicted. For me, this is an amazing project. And for me, I think even this reaction, for me, it's more than just reacting to it because everyone is reacting to it. Like, I remember when you first played this thing, I've been listening to this song ever since then, because it's blown me away to hear that actually music like this can come out of that side. Not that I didn't think that it couldn't, but I feel like this is, it shows like our worlds are, you know, there's a very thin line in terms of how we think. Like you talked about the parai, right? And even the percussion that they use for this thing, I can imagine those vibes on, you know, a more Afrocentric house party dance track, you know. So it's really interesting just seeing how these worlds are so similar, and also makes you realize that, wow, you know, in fact, this first part over here, this part got me vibing. I think, hold on. Yo, that part was lit.
Yeah.
The flow, everything. It's an awesome song. And I really hope we can find more things like this. I feel like this has opened me to a new world. Like, after we watched this, I've been doing research. I've checked out Arivu, you know, seen what they are up to. Even is her name pronounced Dhee?
Dhee, yeah.
Dhee,
I think it's Dhee, yeah. I think it's a longer name, but like it's like shortened to Dhee.
Yeah, but this is awesome.
Yeah, and I think the part that I normally love to see originality in my music, and the part that I love is like that just clicks as home for me. The elevation that they do, it's called kurava, I think. Yeah, kurava, where bunch of I think every community has this, like in one way or the other. I know, like in Kenya we have that as well. Yeah. Especially during weddings and stuff like that. So when I hear that, it clocked in as this is like music that's going to like slap. Yeah. And I think overall, even just in terms of the message, at first I couldn't unpack so much because it was just like filled with all sorts of things in it, you know. But as I did more research, and I also got to know what the artists do and what their main things are. Like Arivu, for example, like Tom said, you know, he has this thing for the casteless collective.
He's a part of it.
Yeah, where he always talks about, you know, political issues that are in the community and puts them into art forms. And so he did the same for this, but he said something in one of the articles where he is always criticized when he does these messages, because people are always like, no, you know, you can't say that and stuff. But this song has like taken off, and the whole world has got to understand what his message is, which I feel so good for him, because he's done this for years, and this is like the first song that's taken off for him, where not just in India stage, but like everyone else understands what he's trying to say. And again, it goes back to like roots, you know. They're basically unpacking like what our forefathers have done for the country, how they've handed over this nation for us to cherish, but also like the roots of civilization, like within the message, almost disintegrating castes and complexities that we know we live in as a society, but we never acknowledge it, right? But in like this storytelling, you understand that they forget about caste, they forget about colorism, they just go back to, we are from the human race, and we live harmoniously with nature, which is what I've understood from the different animals she brings up, you know. At first I thought they were metaphorical, but when I looked at it from a direct point of view, it's like literally saying we learn to live with birds and animals and live in harmony with the nature, and at the same time with each other, which I feel like there's so much more we don't understand from the song. I get it because it's my language, but even for me, I'm like, no, there's so much more. And I just wish they would do an interview, the two of them, where they talk about literally verse to verse, they unpack everything, because it's a poem. For me, this is a poem that has been turned into a song and added beats to. And in fact, the part where he laments, if you've noticed, there's a subtitle here that says he's lamenting. I think it's at this very point. The lamenting is called opari. I don't know, I know Tamil audience will get this, but it's called opari. That's like a proper genre of music done for funerals. So I think it's just a beautiful mix of like
Yeah.
rap and like opari and like the parai instrument and like the ululation, you know, that even like the song Enjaami, what it means is my God. So it's elders calling younger people my God, almost like my dear. You know, it's just a phrase that over time has become like one word, Enjaami. And it's like, I think the message is like from older people to younger people, because it says Enjoy Enjaami. And like they're calling the younger people like, come and partake in the celebration. This is a land we have given you. We are the ancestors who have done so much, you know. Enjoy what you have been given.
I think even with what you said, just the unpacking, I really believe like this is wholesome art. It's well thought, and you know, big ups to the producer Santhosh Narayanan,
Yeah.
because I think just the selection, how he put this together, you could tell that he was creating something that could obviously transcend borders, something that could be resonated with, that also involves, you know, traditional elements and things like that, but also has a vibe that I think also is a little, it's kind of not, it's familiar yet distant. You know, you're listening to it and you're like, yeah, oh, this is a vibe that I can relate to, even though the content of the song is entirely different. So I think, you know, it's just a beautiful masterpiece. And then the fact that these guys were able to now, on such a catchy instrumental, unpack such deep yet relevant stuff, for me, that's what makes this song a win. You know, it's not just, yeah, it's a good song, it's a great song, but above all, you know, the fact that everything was intentional, that for me, that really blows it away. You know, that you created an art piece that speaks to actual issues. Yeah, this is just so encouraging, seeing people around the world using their voices, using their gifts to actually talk about things.
I'm just like super glad, especially the last parts, like when they show the portrait kind of images of the people in the village, and like when she places her hand on top of you know, this, it's so metaphorical, it's so deep. Like, gosh, I can, every time I see, like, I tear up.
We need to find the director of this, because
like just this part, like it kind of shows you how much has been done for us. And by far, like my most favorite part is just that is like everything. Just how the grandmom is sitting there
in the middle,
and the family, you know, and the youngsters at the front. I think this just says everything about the song. And I think it should apply to every community. You don't have to be a Tamilian to appreciate your roots and your ancestry, you know, and value what you've been given.
I think it's powerful, right? You know, we find ways to divide ourselves in so many ways, and I feel like this song, above all, even in this whole thing, it's just really speaking to that whole unity, you know. So yeah, art is a powerful tool, man. And if you have a gift, you know, and you have a message, just put it out. Big up to you guys, Dhee and Arivu, amazing stuff. And Santosh, I need to find out the director. For me, the director is also,
and even the videographer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The videographer, like that.
It's amazing.
They brought out the message in a way that if I was hearing the song alone, I would never understand. You know, they really brought it to life. So I think the whole team did a stellar job. And if I'm not wrong, you told me that this label is an A.R.
read
Rahman.
that. Yeah, it's the maajja is like an A.R. Rahman label. If I'm not wrong, I read that somewhere.
And I'm a big A.R. Rahman fan, so if that is true, then that's even more amazing, because he's using his platform to like now actually help artists put out their stuff. So yo, this is awesome.
Yeah, so please, you know, go listen to the song.
Yes, please do.
Support these people. You know, they're doing some great job out there. And yes, that's it for today.
That's it for today. Like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you can keep updated with us and our story. See you guys later.
Bye.
Alright, so you ready for the intro? What am I meant to say?
Yellarukkum vanakkam.
Yeah.
Yellarakum vanakkam.
Yeyarakum.
Yellarakum
Yelarakum.
vanakkam.
All right.
So you can say Yellarakum vanakkam. Yellarakum like
Vanakkam.
it's like saying
Vanakkam.
hi to all.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Hello, guys. Yelarakum. Vanakkam.
Yellarakum.
Oh. Yelarakum.
Don't start with hello, guys. Say Yellarakum vanakkam.
All right. Let me go.
Then hello.
All right. 3,